It's your boy, I beg you, James _36. And this is Big Games BS, part of the Media Group presented by AlphaClinicalOnline.com. AlphaClinicalOnline.com is a go-to website for all things male enhancement, performance enhancement, just getting your body right this year. It's basically a doc, a teledoc. So like you could get stuff happening. They can refer you to different things that you just, so you don't have to go through the normal regular rigmarole of going to a doctor. I'm tired of that shit with doctors. Like you go and you try to get an appointment. Everything's 2 weeks. With this right here, you just pick up the phone. Hey, I got this, and that. They diagnose it, and then they help you with that. So that's about it. But keep that thing short. We gotta get that prayer in, right? Okay, shout out to Londa renewing her membership. Oh man, we gotta do this. That's right. I gotta find all of my February stuff. February's coming here around the corner. Black History Month, the color. Remember we had we was running the joke colors only. There was a colors only sign for that I found during Black History Month. But we'll get that. James look like he just got with the what? Amnesia. You just got done with amnesia. But all right, so cool. We got a new setup. I have every time you come in here, you never know what's gonna happen. And it's gonna be weird because the TV is like at a spot where like I have to like turn this way. So what we got here today, Jaden?
So we got some recap for the Navy All-American Bowl. We got some players to look out for, a couple FSU news to break on the internet as well. And then we're going to talk about North Dakota State University winning the FCS championship against Montana State and some cool facts about that. Then we're going to get into some FCS schools who has higher average attendance rates than some FBS schools. And we got some notable schools on there as well. We're going to talk about the distance traveled for the college football playoff semifinal for each team, and going to talk about the postseason conference records for each of the conferences, and then we're going to talk about the ticket price range for the college football playoff semifinal. Transitioning to the NFL, we're going to talk about the year-to-year NFL team records from last year compared to this year, and then teams that went over/under their projected win total for this year. We're going to talk about the Superbowl odds, and then we have some another firing news as well with the Titans GM. And then we're going to talk about teams who are looking for a head coach, and we're going to circle back to the Jaguars, and they're actually released the head coach interview request, and we're going to go through that list as well, see what James thinks are the more suitable candidates for Jacksonville. And, we have to talk about Antonio Pierce, and we got a funny little recap picture of the 2024-2025 NFL regular season. And, we have to end our show on the Big Games BS segment, kind of a continuation from Monday. We're going to be talking about, the Joy Taylor FS1 situation. A lot of people have made responses to it and even in some more videos about it. And the Liangelo Ball song is doing numbers. So we got some videos on that. And then the last thing we'll finish off with is Lebron. And I don't know how he's doing the things he's doing at 40 years old. But first things first, I'm going to share this with you all right here.
Shout out to AZ.
Shout out to AZ. It's official. Azariah Thomas from FSU is headed to the 2025 Reese's Senior Bowl. I know before this season, ESPN did like a top 100 ranked, like a preseason rank for the college football players. And I believe he was in that, but I forgot which number. I think it was 98. Do you remember, James? Do you remember seeing that? ESPN did like a rank of the preseason of the top 100 players in college. Yeah, he was in there, but I forgot which number. But huge shout out to him, and definitely deserve of this.
Up top corner, rangy, good, decent hips. Gotta get the ball skills. There's some things that this should really help his stock. But I do know a lot of times they got to get to the NFL, get a little bit more detailed work. He'll get better during the combine season. So I'm actually extremely happy for him. I thought about going to that's one of the things I could go to, but I don't really like Alabama. So yeah, I'm just terrified of the state of Alabama and Mississippi. Just a lot of interesting things have happened over the years. But I've heard it's really a lot of fun. It's where you go network more. You network more. A combine and things like this are more networking opportunities than they are really covering anything. Because like they're gonna do his measurables and they're gonna send it to everybody. So it's not like it's breaking news, unless you have relationships and interesting things to do content. Most people are boring. You know, that's why women are dominating this, because people, at least people want to look at. Did you see? I should have sent you with somebody. They're attacking Sheena now. We might need to call Sheena on the joy on how her life, how's life for women since this Joy Taylor thing is coming. But I just made me think about it. But no, I'm saying it's crazy. Like it's crazy what some of the people are like tweeting and quote tweeting at them. But nah, I'm not going to Bama though. But AZ going into this situation, proving that this year 2-10 wasn't on him. That's really what he's got to be able to try to all. Mike up. Yep. Well, that's that. All right. So we're good now. But yeah, I'm glad AZ's going to Birmingham. He needs to go do these different things. Go let the scouts see him. Go interview well. And just do all the little things. So and then get him as prep before the combine. So that's happy for him. Our kickers and punters are going too, right? It's tough when the most. Well, I got a lot of work to do at the combine coming up next year, especially with the coaching firing. But it's the combine's going to be extremely interesting, because have we been? So we were on Monday. We announced that Dougie P was probably going to get fired. The firing happened. The firing happened while we were talking, right?
It happened the morning before.
Morning before.
I mean, the morning of on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because coaching, so when it combine, we get a bunch of players. When you cover the team you cover, just fire the head coach, and they got coaching searches. Well, they'll have the coach by then, but getting information, like all the different stuff that they do, it's going to be and then there's a lot of other people that I just know that are in the combine, so it's going to be a very interesting time. But what else?
So the Navy All-American Bowl is happening this weekend, and there's some notable players that we do have to mention and talk about / highlight. So share this with you all right here. So FSU defensive tackle signee Kevin Wynn had a great showing on day one of the Navy All-American Bowl.
Remember when I did the breakdowns, I said that's the one. I said that's the one right there who plays like he needs a positive male role model in his life. Like that kid is violent. Well, yeah, he's been liking what I saw, been liking what I see from him.
So his measurables 6'1" and 3/4, 343 pounds, hand size 10 and 1/8 inches. Excuse me. And yesterday, for the first practice, he was voted the top performer. So huge shout out to him and keep grinding. And hopefully you do the same thing for the Seminoles out there. And then we also got some familiar faces in that bowl as well from Mandarin University. Let me share this with you all right here. So huge shout out to Drake Stubbs and Jamie French on getting invited to the All-American Bowl as
Coach
well.
Bullock is actually coaching out there.
Oh, nice.
The head coach Mandarin is out there coaching as well. So
yeah, keep doing your thing, keep putting the city on. And so a little bit more FSU news. We have the Desser twins actually. So quick thing right here. They committed to FSU obviously, and they're enrolling early from this post. So huge shout out to them, man. Keep doing your thing. Wishing y'all nothing but success.
Those are the boys from down south.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good twin back. It's two. Yeah, there's one twin we want on the field right now. The other one we need them to cook a little bit more.
No, for sure. I think they went to Miami. One of the Miami schools. Northern Miami.
Norland.
Did
they go to Norland?
I forgot which one, but yeah, keep doing your thing and shout out to them. So we have some great news for our women's basketball team. They are now ranked number 24 in the top 25. So huge shout out to them and keep doing your thing. Especially, we have to talk about our girl again, the one and the only Tania Latson. She's been doing her thing as well on the court. She is a now 3-time AP Player of the Week with her great performances. I believe she is still leading the women's NCAA basketball in scoring over Juju. Yeah, so I think she's still atop of that list. Somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but huge shout out to Tania, man. Keep balling. That's all I gotta say. Keep balling.
Yeah, come on. That's niece. That's the whole world. That's Seminole Nation's niece right there. She doing good things. Doing good things.
Huge shout out to her. And then that's all the FSU news we got today.
We got one little bit. Okay. Did you see what Raja Gul is going to South Carolina? Came up, man. Look, sometimes it's too much seasoning overwhelms you. So I think he went from Utah, and we put too much on him. Because again, he was visiting during when school wasn't out, so it's only locals there. So it's only the blacks. And he's in Utah. It's not that many. Probably got overwhelmed, but kudos to him. I didn't realize he was big. He's a big back, big explosive joker. So, I watched some more of his film, man. It was terrible, man. The film was not terrible bad. It's terrible. Like, he was actually really good. Like, yeah, I really kind of wanted that guy. But kudos to him. Hope everything works out for him. South Carolina ain't really did nothing but give us a couple good players over the years. So go be a cock. But yeah. And we had guys on the trail as well yesterday, but it's all season. Hopefully we'll get some more we'll get more visits and stuff coming up here soon, so we'll get more news. Try to get a little bit more active with the recruiting stuff.
No, for sure. Definitely a season to look out for, our bounce back season right here, 2025, 2026. So super excited to see how Mike Norvell and the staff can switch it up and do something different. And then, but on the championship route, we have to talk about North Dakota State University. Now, they have been on a run for a minute now. And by a minute, I mean since 2011. This post right here just shows their dominance throughout the last, 13 seasons. Here, I'm going to blow it up for you guys. As you can see right here, These are the list of the FCS championships since 2011. And you can see right here, North Dakota State has been dominating, only not getting the championship in 2016, 2020, 2022, and 2023.
So with FCS, I guess you just need to be in the Dakotas.
Yeah, that's what. That's what it looks like.
South Dakota State,
mm-hmm.
And you don't want the main school. You don't want North Dakota. I know a kid who went to North Dakota. They never won nothing. North Dakota State wins everything. I guess you don't want to go to South Dakota. You want to go to South Dakota State. But that's crazy. That's some dominance, man. You gotta love that.
I was actually wondering last night. I was trying to think of the difference, like the acronym FCS and FBS, and I was like, I don't really know what it.
So they need to change it, but it started for it used to be D1,
mm-hmm.
D1 AA,
mm-hmm.
and that's why FCS was D1 AA. They changed it to football. What is it? FBS is Football Bowl Subdivision, and that's when everything was the bowl, like the BCS and that stuff like that. That's when everything started to make that change. Now it's a playoff, so it's like really you can go. It's really nothing. That's divided. What was football? Football championship series.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. FCS stands for Football Championship Subdivision, and FBS is Football Bowl Subdivision, like you said.
Like they run a tournament. Actually probably run a more efficient, probably better version of it than because they don't have as much TV stuff tied into it. Obviously, with North Dakota State consistently winning, but North Dakota State should have won. They had a top 10 quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, and numerous other accolades to the wire. It should have beat them. So. Like Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But their quarterback went off in this game against Montana State. These are his stats, right?
Montana State, believe it or not, they've been pretty good over the last 20, 30 years too.
For sure. Huge shout out to both teams for making it this far. But Cam Miller went off. He had 80% completions on 20-plus attempts, multiple passing touchdowns, multiple rushing touchdowns, 100-plus rushing yards, and a 60-plus yard rushing touchdown. No other FBS, FCS, or NFL player this century has done all that in the same game. So huge shout out to Cam Miller. Yeah, I just want to read you off his specific stats. 18 carries, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, longest 64. He was 19 of 22, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the number one receiver for this game was Bryce Lance. He had 9 receptions for 107 yards and 1 touchdown. So, man, they're cooking, and yeah, like the infographic said, they had 10 rings in the last 14 years. And the caption, I know you kind of hinted on it, James, was the person who took this tweet and quoted it was, should North Dakota State University cross over into the FBS, or should they stay in the FCS?
I think it's unless you're in a big, really, to be truth be told, unless you're in the big conferences, just jumping over doesn't make any sense. It's just jumping over to just jump over. They've got a niche. They know what they do. This is their power. I mean, but they've done it with different coaches now too. But it's a culture that's established, and they're big dog. Like you can go to North Dakota State and make it to the league. So like people know this now. So like they're one of the best to do it. So, I don't think they should, unless it's something where they're gonna automatically. Well, they're gonna put them in the Big Ten. I wouldn't do it. But I wouldn't play them though if I was a FBS school. Like that's asking for a closer game.
Mm-hmm. They were actually Montana State was actually favored to win the championship. They were favored by a touchdown. So, man,
ain't no way I'm betting money for an FCS championship game. One, ain't no way I'm betting against the team that's won all the damn championships.
Yeah, the spread was in in favor of Montana State, 6.5. The over-under was 58.5, and the money line for North Dakota State was plus 175. So could have cashed out if you were paying attention to the FCS championship. But huge shout out to them boys over there. And staying on the FCS route, I found this great infographic last night that I wanted to share with you all right now. So these are the list of these are the FCS teams that had higher average attendance rates than an FBS team in 2024. And starting out in Florida, man, we got our own. Oh, we gotta move it. We got FAMU and Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, the classics.
Yep, we got the classics, and then we got some other notable colleges here as well. We got Texas Southern, we got Grambling, we got Jackson State, Alabama A&M, North Carolina A&T, Elon. Yeah, a bunch of schools on here that really, really show out for their schools. So huge shout out to these FCS schools making a name.
Okay, I see Mercer.
Mm-hmm. And then we're talking about NDSU up top right there.
Yeah. I bet that should be lit. It's got ain't nothing else to do there.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold. I hope they have a dome. I would
have a dome. My guess would be probably not. I'll look it up.
That'd be terrible to play football there with no dome. But to my Pilgrims, right?
Oh, it's called the Fargo Dome.
Okay. So wait a minute, both the state schools are in the same area?
NDSU.
In North Dakota, because that's where my kid, he used to fly into Fargo. Which I thought Fargo was I had heard of a show or a movie called Fargo. I didn't think it was a real place. But as I was saying to all my Pilgrims, look, check. Adopt the HBCU. Fuck what those other black people say. They don't know any better. HBCUs need your support. But I adopt one. And what I mean by adopt one and then go to the game. One game a year. Even if it's homecoming, which would be a lot. It's a lot to accept. Not accept, but to put on you. A lot of black to put on you one day. But don't just go to the classics. So go to Tallahassee to see FAMU play one of their, I think they only typically play 4 or 5 home games. Go check it out. It's like going to a big ass family reunion where a football game happens to be played. There's food, there's drinks. You're going to see somebody you know, and they're going to notice that you're hey, this white person's here. And as long as you're cool, they're going to feed you. They're going to feed you. You're going to be left you're going to be man, super welcome. But adopt one HBCU. You don't have to give them the same amount of money that you give to your PWI that you love. But shoot them $100 or something to the general fund. And go to one game or go to one game a year and actively watch them, whether it be through social media. I promise you'll be fulfilled. You'll be able to see some good ball. So,
yeah, huge shout out to these FCS schools. So we have the college football playoff with the first game starting tomorrow, actually, with Notre Dame and Penn State.
Do we want to see if I get the only interview that I gave it the First Coast News, so that'll play today. But let me see. Let me shoot me the link, the invite, to the StreamYard. Because Mandarin is the greatest, right? You know why this game is gonna? I promise you, this is why the game is gonna have. It's gonna have the most eyes on it. The most eyes would be on it because they're 2 Mandarin alum in this game. So they got we got both of our we got John and John Mitchell and with Penn State, and Chris Mitchell, who is with Notre Dame, the wide receiver at Notre Dame. They will be playing each other on tomorrow, and I forgot who it was, but I'm mad at them. Somebody in this chat said they had access to 2 tickets, and I'm like, yo, get at me. I'm about that, and then he didn't get at me. I'm sad because I would have went, and I didn't even realize that 2 of our guys were playing until then.
Yep. So this is a historical bout for obviously the African American coaches. So obviously 2 African American coaches playing against each other, and one has an opportunity to play in the championship game. So huge shout out to them right here. So I found this very just great infographic right here I wanted to share with you all. So this is the distance travel for the college football playoff semifinal game. So tomorrow night, Notre Dame and Penn State are playing at the Hard Rock Stadium. So Notre Dame has to travel 1,326.3 miles, while Penn State has to travel 1,246.4 miles. So pretty even distance travel right there. But this is the crazy one right here. Ohio State plays Texas on Friday in the Cotton Bowl, and Texas only has to travel 200 miles, while Ohio State has to make the journey of 1,062.1 miles. So Texas fans better show out. But I know Ohio State's fans are diehard as well, so I'm excited to see the demographics of the Cotton Bowl Stadium. And huge shout out to all these teams. Much success. And yeah, this is just, I just wanted to share this with you all so you can see. And then we got the ticket price range for these games as well right here. So with the Cotton Bowl, tickets range from $208 to $1,698. And it's pretty similar for the Orange Bowl. You got $207 to $1,643 via SeatGeek.
Yeah. One of the things that was crazy was even before the wildness happened in New Orleans, do you know those tickets were going for $50? So it's just the one thing that they, I think, overestimated was, and if they could make it change, right? If the colleges would go and work with so like the major airlines, major car dealers, major hotels, right? So the tickets should be more than that because we should be at the national championship at this point. But like nobody's banking on, like Notre Dame's like, all right, we have our home game, then we got to travel, and then we got to travel again, and if we win, we'll be in Atlanta next weekend. You know how much money that is over a course of time? And you know now the boosters probably get access to it because what happens is at the end of the season they'll send emails to boosters and be like, hey, here are the bowl games we're going to, and they'll give you an allotment that you can go ahead, and you won't get charged until like the team picks the bowl game and they give you a opportunity to decline the tickets. I learned that when we played Oklahoma in the Cheez-It Bowl, and then when we played and then even when we were going to the Orange Bowl last year and stuff like that. So those are the ACC championship. They do those things. They go to boosters first, and then they say, hey, you can buy these if you want to because we have a limited allotment. But the money would be made more if they can make the travel cheaper. So it's just, but they're not.
Yep, and if you go into this game, if you go into any of these games, shout out to you. And if you're the person in the chat that said they had tickets for the Orange Bowl, where you at, man? Where you at? But anyways, so we have a postseason records by each conference. I wanted to share this with you, James, and with you all, chat, so you guys can see, kind of visualize what happened this college football season. So we gonna ignore the first one, like we just gonna look past that. We're gonna start with the Big 12. 4-5, Big 10 9-5, SEC 8-6, the American Conference 6-2, and yes, ACC went 2-11.
In our defense, well, not our, because fuck the ACC, but in the ACC's defense, 2 of those losses were in the playoff.
Yeah, this is the postseason.
That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like we just played a bunch of games, like just a bunch of bowl games and lost those 2. We did. But some of those teams probably didn't deserve to be in. Like Boston College, like their team is not decimated, but like they're not. The portal. I will say the one thing: the portal rule has kind of messed this part up. They should just do the right now. Should be when the portal is really active, or all coaches should adopt the rule that Dilly made. Like Dilly wasn't finna lose his team to the damn portal. He was like, "Hey, practice. You can play. Stay fresh, and if anything happens to you, I'll keep you. But like, transfer after the damn playoff game. That's what a lot of guys should do. But I don't care. We weren't in there, so we didn't add to that win or loss thing. So it's not our fault. Miami's fault. But yeah, so that's crazy. But it does go to my thing. What if anybody who's been listening to the show in the chat, I would like for you guys, what conference have I consistently said is the best conference in football? Everybody SEC's but no, you're not. You're not the best conference in football. In fact, the team that's representing you still was in the Big 12, which is a worse conference than you. And every time a team from the Big 12 comes to the SEC, they automatically start kicking ass in the SEC, whether it be the Fruity Tigers of Missouri when they came in with Michael Sam, or Texas A&M when Johnny Manziel winning a Heisman Trophy, beating Alabama, doing things that they could not do. The Big Ten plays a better brand of football. That's why you see technically 3 Big Ten type teams that are in this Final Four, with Notre Dame playing the Big Ten style of football, Penn State, Ohio State. You had Oregon last week. Every time that they matched up, matter of fact, who did Texas should have lost in the first round, if I remember. Well, no, not really. They were getting they got a bye. So just think, like, again, when you're sitting here thinking about these things, the Big Ten is just a better brand of football. Period. But it's proven right here. It'll probably be proven when the Big Ten has when it's a rematch or it's 2 Big Ten type teams. I don't think Notre Dame is beating Penn State, but I don't think unless Riley Leonard just all of a sudden just starts using his legs. Riley Leonard's not a great thrower of the football. I don't think Penn State's quarterback is great. I just think he's better than Riley Leonard. Both teams are similar. Running teams, physical offensive lines. And I think Texas is about to get I don't trust. I never trusted Texas. I think they're gonna get a boat race, man. I think he's gonna try to do that finesse stuff. And Ohio State, that's what they do. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Ryan Williams, what he did to Oregon, that is not Ryan Williams, my bad. I always say Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is the one I like, and that's the other sassy one. But J.J. Smith, Jeremiah Smith. Well, Jeremiah's not sassy, I don't think. Jeremiah's not sassy. We don't know what Jeremiah really sounds like. We know he did type that. Y'all was talking all that, basically telling those guys from Oregon that was talking that shit. He came and did it to him. But Jeremiah Smith is just, they ain't got nothing for it. Nothing for it.
So I just want to read you some of the ESPN game odds per ESPN bet per the ESPN app. So I'm gonna zoom in on this so you all can see this as well while I'll share my screen. So James, if you were to bet on this game, these are the odds right here per ESPN bet. So Notre Dame is favored by 1.5, and the money line for Notre Dame is -120. Over under being 44.5. So chat and James, if y'all had to place any bets for this game tomorrow, 7:30 Hard Rock Stadium between Notre Dame and Penn State, who or what odds are y'all picking?
I'm picking the over. I'm gonna take the over.
Luke said Notre Dame spread and the under. That's what Luke said in the chat. It's one of his bets.
I'll put it like this. I believe both teams can score 24 points. Like, that's the only reason I'll take the over.
You mean 20?
So both teams, well, no, I'm just saying I think that so like either one is capable of scoring 24 points, which technically the first, even if it was a running game, the first to 24 should win. So if it's, but I don't know what money line even means, but I wouldn't take Penn State. I think Notre Dame's going to win. So, I mean, excuse me, I think Penn State's going to actually, that's my thing, my bad. So what would the even mean with the points if I took, I guess you can't click on that. But anyways, I'm taking Penn State. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Miles was right with that 1-for-1. So, man, this is a tricky one. I'm not too familiar. I know the Penn State James run game is something that's really good as well, and I know that's something Notre Dame was also great at with the run game. But yeah, I was looking at their schedule to see who they played, and I think they both lost to Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. That was Notre Dame's and one of Penn State's losses as well. So, yeah, guys, if you betting, here are the current odds right here. If you guys are up to that, but yeah, the game is tomorrow at 7:30. So make sure y'all tune into that. So that's our college segment. So now we are transitioning to.
Ooh, hold on, Luke got a little ticket here. So.
Oh, he sent you Luke.
Yeah,
Luke sent him something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's $20 wager, get you $245. That's pretty good. That's good on your money. He's got he's plus 250 for this one. So
okay. Oh,
he's
God.
got Notre Dame. With giving up the points, and he's betting under. So and then he's got Ohio State giving up the points, which I ain't mad at him. And he's got the over for Ohio State, Texas. I can see the over for that one too, because here's the case. Either they both going to be on the shootout or somebody's running up the score. And we know Sarkisian's a spin the block type guy, so he went and got L'Oreal back. So he a sucker for love. So I think Ryan Day's his heart was broken when he lost to Michigan, and he knows he got to do something. He got to do something to get these Ohio State fans off of him. He's got to sacrifice somebody. I think Sark might start drinking again tomorrow. After that game.
I'm going to put up the Ohio State-Texas game odds as well for you guys and for you, James. Got it right here. So Ohio State is favored by 5.5. The total for the over-under is 53.5 per ESPN bet. And the money line for Ohio State is minus 225. So, like you said, James, you would take the Ohio State spread and the – what did you say, the over? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I take the
okay.
That's what Luke's taking.
Okay, my bad.
State. But
yeah.
I am too.
Okay.
Actually, now I think about it. Yeah, I'm not betting Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen what happened when Texas played Georgia. Georgia beat them without a court. This is why, again, people just let Texas off the hook, man. My man, Texas didn't trust their backup quarterback. Is my mic low? Texas doesn't trust. Georgia didn't trust their backup quarterback to hand the ball off. They had to put Carson in there with one arm. So, just bump it. Get them the the Texas is getting and then Quinn Ewers and Archibald Manny they're good, but I don't think Quinn's that good. I think Arch has all the things that you want to see in a quarterback, except for when the live bullets come, he's just like any other young quarterback. They're just putting a lot on him. But then again, that's why I want to be. I want to be that good that my son, that my family can get overhyped because of that.
Yeah, I still don't trust Texas. I didn't watch all of the ASU game. I think I caught till halftime, but I was watching it here and there, and it was just shaky. I don't know. It's a shame. Obviously, the Texas kicker, that was obviously one of their downfalls with that, but ASU was so close to representing the Big 12. But yeah, if you guys are betting, we talked about the odds. So if y'all cash it in, make sure to type us in the chat. You use some of the picks we talk about, show us love. But if you didn't cash out, hey, it's not on us. But anyways, so we got the NFL we're going to transition to the NFL now. So I just want to share with you all some infographics of the year-to-year records from last season to this season and see some of the disparities with that. First things first, we got the AFC side right here. So some notable differences. We have the Browns with the largest differential with a, oh, my bad, James. Let me make it bigger for you. So we got the Browns with the largest differential of -8, meaning that they have 8 less wins than last season. Then some other notable figures as well would be the Chargers. They rebounded, having 6 more wins this season, becoming 11-6 compared to last season's 5-12. Then the next greatest, you have the Jags with 5 less wins than last year, going from 9-8 to 4-13. Then you got the Chiefs having 4 more wins this season, even though they had a very, very impressive record last season, almost a 2-to-1 win-to-loss ratio. Excuse me. Then you have the Titans losing 3 more games, and you got the Dolphins losing 3 more games as well. And the Ravens lost 1 game. One more game this year compared to last year. So, yeah. Any thoughts on the AFC list, James?
I just tired of the. Oh yeah, we got to cut. We got cut. That's the guess what I was talking about. We were talking about the game Thursday. Oh. Yeah, so we got the Mitchells. They doing the road like this is. They got the greatest road trip that you could ever possibly get. It wasn't like the Griswolds, but with football. So we'll get them.
Get live. Let me see what he said. Let's see if we get that. And you said you got it.
Yeah, you got to get the sound. They're muted. Can we unmute them? They have to unmute. Oh, you got your mic muted. You have to unmute your mic. I don't know if they can. Unmute. Oh, I'm out. You over here like they're not. They have to. It's a little microphone. And it won't let us unmute them, huh? Because they chose mute. Can you send them a text? Just tell them if they choose to mute themselves. Right. But I think that one's unmuted, right? Okay. You got to add him to the stage.
It's real. I can hear him.
All right, can you hear me, Mr. Mitchell?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes.
I can really hear you, Coach Coleman.
He's on mute, but we can't hear him though.
Just a second. I can barely hear you.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, now we got you. So I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
They're very faint.
I hear nothing. I hear nothing. Barely.
Okay.
What we'll try to do is, we're on Androids. Do you think it'll work better on an iPhone?
Honestly, I would. That's my joke, but I think you want to try it? Yeah, try it. Try to, unless you can hear me good now. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna send you the link.
We'll drop them down and then we'll tell them to try from the iPhone. This would be a great advertiser for iPhone if it works. That's funny. All right, well, we'll get them on and just talk about their experience. But it's like, again, they got 2 sons playing in this, you know, be a kind of interesting perspective. Maybe even give y'all some free game. All the boys play college sports. So they might be able to show us exactly how to not have any well, the only debt they're gonna incur is traveling to and fro. But what did it say? He's my man said he gonna hate it if it works. If it works, I'm definitely trolling. All right.
You Coach Coleman now.
Okay, well, yeah. You didn't really change. Y'all didn't change to y'all just redid y'all Androids, right?
I had to adjust the mic sound. Yes.
Okay. So y'all don't want y'all gonna use one phone? It'd probably be better if you and Mr. Mitchell just use it. Okay. All right, and then one other request: if you could turn your phone horizontal.
Cool.
Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Now we got y'all in there. All right. So,
Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing? How's the drive?
Oh, it's going real
It's
good.
going great.
Going great.
No traffic. We're covered by guys. We're good.
Yep.
All right. So I was telling, so I actually didn't even pay attention to this until we were at Tramel's going away. But you guys are traveling to Miami for a very unique and interesting thing that not a lot of people get to do with one child. But can you guys just talk about why you're going to Miami and what event are you guys about to take in?
Sure.
Well, we're going for the semifinals. The Orange Bowl. And it just so happened to be both teams. Our sons play for both teams. One plays for Notre Dame, one plays for Penn State.
Receiver, Notre Dame, number 10, Chris Mitchell. Mandarin University alum. And then Jonathan Mitchell, cornerback, Penn State, number 12.
Also Mandarin
University alum.
So tell us about that. So what is it? So what is it like? One, training that many D1 athletes in your household, because that's got to be a hell of a food bill. And then 2, what does it kind of feel like seeing that, not the end of their careers, but to have this kind of thing happen as a parent? There's got to be like goals, right? As sports parent goals right here.
Definitely. It's been a blessing. We started young with them. Basketball, soccer, track, football, and they kind of landed there with football. It's been challenging. It's been a lot of sacrifices to be there, to be present. Both my husband and I both, to be present at their events. But it's been worth every moment. And this is just the beginning. This is something we prayed about. And it's just the beginning of, all the other things that God has in store for the boys. It's bigger than football, but we love football, but it is bigger than that. God has a master plan. And so we're very, very excited. This is an awesome, epic event for the entire family. So we are just overjoyed.
As parents, you talk to your kids before a game. I remember talking to my mom before I played, and she'd be like encouraging, hype me up, go out there and win. How do you do that? Like, is there a favorite? Are you telling one, hey, low key, I want you to win, but don't tell your brother this? Like, is that like how does those conversations go? Because you want them both to do well and excel with their teams.
Well, we actually want both of them to do well. We do. We want, and like I said last night on another interview, I wouldn't mind seeing 8 overtimes. I just wanted to keep going back and forth, and finally somebody just give up and just win. But if I had to call a champion right now, I would prefer Notre Dame because Christopher is a senior. He's a senior, and John has about 3 or 4 more years left on this stage.
So
Did y'all
as
get
for
the
me, Coach
jersey?
Coleman, I don't have a favorite. So as far as which team, I just want the team to win, the team, and we don't know which team that's going to be. But, you know, hey, Team Mitchell going to always win no matter what.
That's true. There's absolutely no losers in this because you already know you get to go to Atlanta next week regardless.
Regardless, it's a win-win situation.
That's right.
Win-win.
So we talked about this. So I'm going to hype up this certain school. So they went to what school? What high school did they go to in Jacksonville?
Mandarin University, Mandarin High School in Jacksonville, Florida.
Both on by Coach Toby.
You know I got that Mandarin University from you, Coach Coleman. You always put that Mandarin. Yes, so I use it now as well.
I was actually following up with after you guys' interview. I was like, hey man, I need you to slide. He's like, they already talked about it. They already said that their sons go to Mandarin University. How did that prepare? Do you feel like being at that school with the competition, both sons being able to play the state championship during their time there, being able to go up against some of the best in the area and play some of the best in the state? Do you think that the high school experience that he had at Mandarin, that they had at Mandarin, helped prepare them for the Division I level to be at this championship level?
Absolutely. The coaching staff at Mandarin is like none other. All the coaches care about the student athlete.
That's right.
It's their goal. The goal is to get that kid, that athlete in a university on the next level. So no matter what level, these kids are placed in what I want to say. I want to say what I want to say.
They're being developed.
They're being
challenged.
Yes.
They speak of family, community, fellowship.
Right.
And working together. That it's a team effort, camaraderie. Friendship, to fight to the end. You know what I mean? But to get along, to come together, and the coaches are prime examples of that.
Right.
We tell everyone coming up, you need to get your son in Mandarin. That's where if they want to play football, you got to get them there.
Yeah.
Because the coaching staff is elite, and their nurturing that they provide for these young men is just bar none. It's top notch. So we are very, very pleased.
And we have Chris and Nick, but we also have a third son that's a starting middle linebacker at Mississippi State. He's from Mandarin U. So Nick Mitchell. So we got 3 kids.
Attended Mandarin University.
That attended Mandarin University.
All right, well, cool. I was actually about to tell y'all to talk about the other one too, but that's three Power 4, 2 big conference with 1 independent, but technically the ACC. But just a lot of success, and hope you guys enjoy your trip. Much success to both of those young men. Can't wait to see them in the off season when they come back. Hopefully, one of them will have some hardware, a nice ring at the end of it.
Yeah,
that's for sure. They definitely will. Yes, we're praying on that. That's gonna happen, Coach. We gotta speak it into existence.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for having us today. We greatly appreciate it. Team Mitchell all day long, baby.
All right, y'all have a safe trip.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, Coach.
Bye-bye.
Again, man, that's so cool. Those are, like I said, them parent goals, guys. Like, to be able to see that whole little thing where you wear the jersey. I don't think they were able to get that, but like when I was covering the Super Bowl, seeing when the Chiefs, I saw Mama Kelsey with the with that split jersey. So, but yeah, so it was kind of cool. So, good parents. Again, just wanted to take that break. That was kind of a cool thing. I thought, when we were hanging out the other day, I was like, "Dang, man, okay." I don't know. I don't even know what that's like. So so if you want to have real reason to watch the semifinal championship, just pick which Mitchell you want to root for and just roll with it. But yeah, so all right, what were we at before that? We were talking about
the NFL record differences from last year to this season.
Jags suck, Chiefs are a lot better. It's crazy. It's crazy how these things work.
So then we got the we got the NFC side with this as well. So the biggest disparity would be with the Commanders. Obviously, shout out to Jaden Daniels. They have 8 more wins this season than last season. And then next we have the Vikings with 7 more wins compared to last season as well. Next we got the Niners going from 12-5 to 6-11. Then the Cowboys, America's favorite team, 12-5 to 7-10. Then you got the Cardinals with 4 more wins, Saints with 4 more losses, and so on and so forth. But man, it shows you how fast and how far your franchise can turn around.
You just got to get hot at the right time, and you got to find the right catalyst. I mean, we'll see what the Commanders. I mean, you got to be what they did with Daniels is crazy. So. But we'll see that. It seems like the sophomore slump nobody has avoided it. Because CJ Stroud, except for Bryson, I think Bryce Young went reverse. He really, really stunk his rookie, most of his rookie in the first half of this year, and then now he's better. But Jaden, we'll see if he's able to uphold that, because CJ Stroud looked really good last year and has not looked that great now. So we also see who else. Got those. The Cowgirls? Oh, yeah, they went down. Mm-hmm. The Falcons literally just moved one spot.
Yeah, one spot.
So they stayed mid.
Mm-hmm. The Rams have the same record as last season.
But it should be worse because of like some of the things that they've gotten rid of, and they've gotten better. Aaron Donald's only been retired a year, right? He retired last year, right?
Yeah, I think
that is sick. Imagine Aaron Donald walking away and you get Braden and Fisk and Jared Verse. Yeah. I said Braden looked like Aaron Donald-ish. Like, with just white. Yeah. Even though he sounds like Bubba Sparks. He's blacker than Mike McDaniel. So I gotta give him that. Doesn't take a lot to be blacker than but like just imagine like just Aaron Donald was that good, and he like shit, we ain't gonna have like a fourth of this production, and then boom. This white dude comes in.
F them picks, remember?
Yep. That's what they shoot.
That's what they said, right? Man, what a life. So we got a little similar infographic right here I wanted to share, kind of on the same track. We have the teams that went over their projected win total this season per ESPN bet that we want to share with you all. So the Bills, actually, with 13 wins, they went over their projected win total, which was 10.5. And then you have the Chiefs as well going over the projected win total with 15 wins with 11.5 projected. Commanders, obviously, one of the major rebound teams of the 2024-2025 season, having projected wins at 6.5, but they got 12 wins. Eagles doing their thing. They had 14 wins with their projected 10.5, and the Lions as well, 10.5 projected wins, 15 wins for this season. Now, these are the teams that went over their projected win total, so we got to talk about the teams that went under. So I reposted this picture on our Sports Stand account on X. Make sure to check that out. So obviously, the Jags right here, the Jags were projected to have 8.5 wins this season, but they only were able to get 4 in the Jets as well.
Speaking of that, let me know when are we going to have a Jags segment?
I have the list of
when we talk about the head. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a list of the head coaching interview requests and what each of their current position / former position was, and we'll talk about the who you think and who the chat thinks is the best. And the last thing I'll touch on this was the 49ers. They were projected to have 11.5 wins, but only got 6. So, man, it's getting spooky.
When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Like but like after the first 3 or 4 games in the NFL, you kind of really get an idea of where this thing is going. If it's going well, the 49ers had a lot of like just injuries, inopportunity. Even with the Jags, that's the only excuse I'll give them. You never had all of your bullets on offense at one time. Evan Ingram was out for a good portion of the year. Then he came back. Then he got hurt again. Gabe got hurt. Like actually, I was sitting there. It's like I was joking. Trevor was throwing wide receivers into the infirmary for a point in time there. But like, imagine if you had all of those guys on the field, or if you had a offensive coordinator who knew how to work all of those guys. So just like when that stuff happens, that's kind of when you're getting a feel of how the season goes.
Yeah, and even with the Chiefs, with their close one possession games through the duration of this season, it's like, man, I feel like everybody was obviously rooting against them just because they've been successful, and the Nick Saban effect, if you will, the Tom Brady effect, if you will.
The harder part is that it's hard to dislike Patrick Mahomes, Kermit the Frog. Like, he's just not like Tom Brady's the intense that's like, the arrogance intense. So there's people who hate that. Put that up when we talk about the Giants. There's people who hate that. Bill Belichick is very off-put, but Andy Reid looks like he's just like they're doing Santa Claus commercials with rumor like hinting at Santa Claus with the Chiefs with Andy Reid during Christmas time. Like, nobody hates Andy Reid. Nobody hates Patrick Mahomes. You might not like. It's like Steph Curry. Like, you can't just dislike Steph Curry. You could dislike the fact that he shoots threes from a devilish ways, but like, you don't really just like, man, I can't stand Steph Curry.
No, right, for sure. And then with the Chiefs, with Andy Reid, obviously they're, you cannot count them out in the championship/playoffs. That is a common notion that football fans have seen and heard for the past couple of years. So I have a picture right here of the Super Bowl odds from week 1 to the current Super Bowl odds right now. So the Chiefs were the favorites to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season with plus 500, but now the Lions have the highest chances of winning the Super Bowl with plus 280. Then you have the Chiefs. Then you got the Ravens, Bills, Eagles, Vikings, Packers, Bucks, Chargers, and the Commanders. What do you think about this list, James? If you had to pick your Super Bowl winner based off these odds, based off everything you've seen, heard, and just observed on the field, who are you taking?
With the current?
Yeah, the one on the
right. I got a feeling that everything in me wants to go. Says it's going to be a Philly Chiefs Super Bowl again. But the Rams and the Ravens interest me more because defense typically starts to play out when you get to this point. And I would say the Lions hands down, but eventually you can't just keep having those losses on the D line that they've had and it not come to affect you you lost if you had both. But like, I think Gibbs is amazing. I think Gibbs is actually better than Montgomery, but having both of them was nuts.
Montgomery is supposed to make it back for the divisional round. I saw, though. He's clear. It's projected that he'll be back for the divisional round. So they'll have both of those. Yeah. Wow. NFL made a post about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but I swear I saw it. I'm gonna look for
putting
it.
$1 on LA. I mean, like, that ain't a bad bet, man.
So I know you can't see with the screen, but their odds are plus 4,500.
That's why I said I put $1 on that. That ain't shoot. That's a couple $100, right?
If you did 100, you make $45.
$45, okay. Yeah, that ain't a hard way to make 45. But yeah, so I mean, it's again, like I said, NFL is boring, man. This shit's been exciting. If you like ball, outside of if your team sucks, so nothing you can do about that. But this has been a good NFL year, though.
I got the post for you, James, regarding David Montgomery. I'm going to share it with you all right here. So, yeah, Lions head coach Dan Campbell says he expects running back David Montgomery, he had a knee injury, to be ready for the divisional round. So, yeah.
They don't give a fuck about your body in the NFL. Fuck the fact that you hurt. Like, nah, just get your ass back out there. It's only your knee. Get in there. But nah, if he's good to go, then I'm sure still. If you're gonna bet how many, I would bet the Gibbs gets the more carries than he does this game.
Yeah, for sure. It's getting spooky out here in the NFL. You know, it's a business, right? Everybody always says that, especially when it comes to professional sports. It's a business. It's a business. So, man, the Titans GM has been released. And this is breaking news because if you guys didn't know, if you guys didn't tune in to Monday's show, the Titans have the #1 pick in the NFL draft. And if I was a player in this draft, I would be kind of weary going to a team who just fired their GM. So, per Adam Schefter, Rand Carthon is out of the Titans general manager position. Carthon spent 2 years in Tennessee with 2 different head coaches and still has 4 years remaining on his contract. So he's going to get paid. So, and the new GM will make the #1 overall pick. And I saw online that Dion responded to one of these posts about Carthon with like the eyes emoji and like an exclamation mark. But, it's
former I think he was a fullback for the Gators. Funny story about Rand, right? Again, so this is why I always tell people this is why you want to be an all-in member. They can still hear me. You get to go to the combine, and these are real combine. That might be a segment for leading up into the combine. Real Super Bowl stories, real combine stories from James Coleman. A couple years, so everybody knows I coach at Bowles, and a former GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars is his son plays for Bowles. So every time I go to the combine, I go and I link up with said person. So I go up and get information and a lot of those different things. So I go link up with him, and he introduces me to this bald-headed black guy with a cool beard. And I'm just like, and I shake his hand, and he's like, and we talk about it. But he gives me this thing again. While everybody's in Worlds for DEI, there are people who recognize that there's no opportunity. You'll continue to have first if you never give people opportunities. So this guy said one of his friends challenged him for why there aren't more blacks in front office positions. So he made it his mission to go ask his friends to give him guys who are qualified or want to get into scouting. Rand was one of the guys that he got, and I met this guy. And so he was sitting there. He's like, I meet with some of my mentees. So it was 3 black guys who were in front office work. Well, all 3 of them now, after that meeting, all 3 of them were working as GMs in the South. Now, they haven't done great, but the point is they got the opportunity. I forget about this meeting. The next year I'm at I forgot which we go CAA. Yeah, CAA throws a party at the Marriott that you always go to. This guy makes a beeline to me and says, "I know you," and I'm like, "Brother, we just 2 black guys in an all-white room, man. It's just like you don't know me." He's like, "No. You coach at Mandarin." "No, that's not where I know you though." And then he broke it all the way down. Their minds are so like Rolodexes of people information. Even the guy whose son I coach, he remembered his scouting profile on me when he was in with the Colts at the time. So it's just their minds are so great. And then again, seeing him in the press box last year, I think he got dealt a raw hand. 2 head coaches, 2 years. You don't even have a chance to really flip it. But as a GM, you do live and die by the coach that you hire. So just same thing with athletic directors. If your coach if you're not winning, you're gonna get fired. So, but you said what? Well, except for Balky, but yeah, Balky. I'm telling you, dog, Balky got pictures of Shad like eating chitlins or something like something crazy. But yeah, I think the brother gonna still be in the front office, but shit, I know Dion might be looking for it. You're gonna need more NFL caliber guys in college in order for this transition to be real. So
So going with that, with the firing of this GM, man, a lot of teams are on the hunt for a head coach, and it's getting scary for these 6 teams. I wanted to share with you all, if you guys did not know, these are the 6 teams that currently do not have a head coach. You got the Jets, Saints, Jacksonville's own, the Patriots, the Raiders with Antonio Pierce, and the Bears. So I know a quick story about the Bears. They wanted to interview Mike McCarthy, but he didn't have the Dallas Cowboys head coach. But I don't think he got granted permission to interview with the Bears. So I don't know who controls that. Maybe Jerry, maybe somebody else, but it's looking scary right now. But
it is, because you're gonna have to be like, who do I want to deal with? You see the Patriots. They,
None of these guys wanted Belichick. All these open jobs.
So no, then Belichick's old, man. Like, so I think well, obviously, it would have been funny if the Patriots would have took him back. That would have been wild. I don't think Belichick wants some of these jobs either. Also, because New Orleans isn't turning around quick. Jets aren't turning around quick. Yeah, you can't do that. You're not going to Bears. Like, he's not ready for these new age kids with the fingernail painting and the sassiness. And Vegas seems right up his alley. So I'm not sure why he didn't go to the Raiders, but
he did. Tom's there now too.
It's not a big buyout to get him out of
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's a lot of uninteresting jobs. So the Chicago job is interesting if you could deal with the quarterback, which I think is not bad. I just think he's just different.
Every time I hear you say that, I think he's meaning gay.
I mean, yeah. But it's not a disability. He can throw the ball very fast. I mean, very far. It may add a little more zest to it. That might be what it is, man. Nah, man. That's it's these while we're talking about this, the Rooney Rule is bullshit. I hate the Rooney Rule. I get the Steelers are really a very, very forward thinking and progressive organization. But like, damn, dog, like it does more harm than good.
It's a sentiment rule.
It's like, I'm gonna call. They don't even call the good ones. They just call a random black and say, "Let me interview you." Yeah, knowing where, like, everybody knows the direction that they're going. So like interviewing me, like, is just no. I hate that. I hate that part. But that's what I'm saying on it, because we got people we call it, right? Or it's like all these teams have to call a black guy. Basically, that's what it is. The Rooney Rule is phone a black. And you made that, it doesn't help with hiring. The GMs help with hiring, though.
Kind of what you mentioned. So we got some news from the Patriots Twitter 18 hours ago. I wanted to share with you all. And this Clarence Hill Jr. Quoted this and reposted it, and I thought this was hilarious. So these are the head coaching. Excuse me, my computer froze. Sorry about that. But these are some of the head coaching interviews for the Patriots. So you got Pep Hamilton and Byron Leftwich, and then the person who quoted this said, "Y'all ain't slick."
Right. Like, they're not hiring these two guys, man. Byron Leftwich is crazy, because when Doug Peterson was being considered for this, that Byron Leftwich was like one of the hottest coordinators, like, out. Been definitely cooled down since, but we know those guys ain't getting a job.
Speaking of not getting a job, somebody on this list is going to get beat out for the Jaguars head coaching position. Now, James, I have that. Do you want me to read through the names first, or go with the tweet you sent me first?
Read the names first.
Okay, so I'll read the names, guys, and I'll explain each of their current positions in the NFL. So you have Kellen Moore, Todd. Let me make this big for you guys. Okay, cool. So Kellen Moore is the Eagles offensive coordinator. Todd Monken is
Please no. Please no.
Oh, okay, my bad. Todd Monken, the Ravens offensive coordinator. Joe Brady, the Bills OC. Liam Cohen, the Bucks OC. Ben Johnson, Lions OC. Aaron Glenn, the Lions DC. Patrick Graham, Raiders DC. And former Jets head coach Robert Saleh, who is currently in a consulting role with the Packers per my research. So, James.
So they got 3 Rooney rules up there because there's no way they're hiring those bottom 3. And they got them all grouped together. Did they do that on purpose? Can I be like, isn't this convenient? Isn't it convenience? Or what is Umar? What does Umar say? Like, just why the 3 minority? No, I'm just joking. But they're not hiring. I wouldn't be. I'd be super mad if we hire Rob Saleh. And I like him on defense, but like, man, my man just literally just failed in your face with New York. With one of the best quarterbacks and good defense, couldn't get it together. We all know who most of the fan base wants. They want Ben Johnson. But you know how I know we're not getting Ben Johnson is when Tony Baselli was going on radio talking about how Ben ain't really that good. Which I know which is crazy because he's a man of God, straight up lying. I know when they're trying to. I know when the Jags is trying to manipulate us. But Joe Brady, no. It's only one. Yeah, it's only one person up there that I just. Ben. If it ain't Ben, I ain't in. Get somebody from a winning culture. Where's Joe Brady at now? Because Joe Brady was in Buffalo. They got rid of him, and then now my guy's an MVP candidate, Josh Allen. So I don't know where Joe Brady is. So don't give me Joe Brady. Who knows? Well, gotta get somebody good. We gotta be able to get Sunshine.
I think he's still on the team though. Well, you said he's not. On the team?
Joe Brady?
Yeah.
He's still with the Bills?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they just
because it said Adam Schefter 23 hours.
You know what? I got it reversed. The former Hurricanes quarterback was up there, was the OC, got booted. They brought Joe Brady in, he did.
Yeah.
Never mind. I wouldn't mind that then.
Because it says right here, the Bears requested a head coach interview with Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady.
I flipped that around.
23 hours ago.
I got that flip. That was on me.
Yeah, I don't know personally. I know a lot of the fans, obviously on the Jacksonville Jaguars like Twitter space. Ben Johnson is
Ken Dorsey is who I was thinking about. Ken Dorsey is who I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, huge shout out. Hopefully we do get Ben Johnson. A lot of the fans are gravitating towards him. I hear a lot of buzz about him, and I do think he is the best fit for the Jags after this list. But with Balky and Shad Khan, being in those leadership positions, I don't know what coach will be willing to take that risk for their career. So now, James, we got the quoted tweet that you sent me by Gus Logue. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So I'll blow this up for you guys. So the tweet that he quoted was, "This is your Super Bowl, Jaguars media. Ask the tough questions today and stand up for the fans." And Gus said, "Tough questions will be asked, but when they're inevitably deflected and moved on from, don't be surprised. Reporters aren't going to risk relationships with the building just to stand up for the fans." LMAO.
So here's my problem with that statement. And then he says something where I'm not trying to be demeaning or whatever like this. A journalist's job, especially if you want to have credibility, is to ask the tough questions regardless of if they get deflected or not. If everybody's asking and pushing, like right now, the fan base wants to know one thing. Why is Balky here still? Why Balky? So why not continue to press that if everybody's in unison on that? Like relationships come and go. The GMs won't. Well, actually, GMs aren't supposed to be here this long when they stink. But if if doing your job is just to make you comfortable, I don't do the job. I'm gonna be honest with you. T-Wig with what he does with his Jags, with Locked On Jags is probably one of the best shows out there for when it comes to Jaguars. T-Wig ain't been in the press box in a minute. He can go in the press box, but he ain't been in the press box in a minute. T-Wig says what he wants to say. He says the truth. I agree with it sometimes. I don't agree with it sometimes. But when he does, he presses. Like I say that to say is the best. The people who cover sports the best in today's society, like in today's thing, are the ones who ain't at every fucking press conference. Especially in college, we got live stream post and pregame interviews. What do you need to be there for? You can ask those questions on social media. But I remember being in the building of a station that was the official station for the Jaguars. And I remember being very hard on Tom Coughlin. And I remember getting pulled in and said, hey, you're very right. But if the Jags come in and say, who is this guy going hard on our guy, and they tell us we need to make a change, we will make a change. But you know what? That never stopped me. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I could do my same job not watching the game. If it wasn't easy, why everybody on that beat ain't going to every fucking away game for the Jags? They watching that shit. They watching that away game on TV just like you. Actually, it's a better view at home sometimes because you can see replay. You can see the only thing you're not getting is it like 10 seconds early because there's a delay. But like, if I'm being honest with you, like, where's the fun in a coaching search and you not asking the tough questions of a team that's had to fire another coach and do a coaching search? There's nothing wrong with, and if they're that sensitive, they're in the wrong fucking field. It's like you don't want to lose relationships when you ask players the tough questions. You're not worried about losing relationships then. If Trevor goes out there and throws 4 interceptions in a practice, people are bitching about why he threw that, and rightfully so. Right now, the tough questions go with why the fuck is Balky here? How would you what does it mean that the head coach will answer directly to you? And even if they deflect, you keep asking. And you know what? You know who sees they deflected? The fans. So you get more people on your bandwagon. You actually become, it's not trying to be a contrarian, but when you actually stand for something, you actually become more invaluable. But I don't understand this line of thought. But when I saw that, and I know he works for Big Cat Country, which again, my guy Travis Holmes, he has a show that comes on this channel as well when it comes to Jaguar stuff. But this is why I said the people need more realism. This might make me have to do more Jag shit because a lot of stuff y'all get fed is bullshit, and y'all fall for it. But this is what the media does when they don't have when they don't have enough testosterone in their system. This is why it's important to go to Alpha Clinic Online to make sure that you have the balls to be able to stand up and do your fucking job. I don't get it. I don't know why you wouldn't want to add. This is what you got in this for, is to ask the tough questions. Some of y'all actually went to school for this dumb shit and don't want to do what you went to school for.
Journalism's changed.
That's wild.
Speaking of something being wild, the writing has been on the wall. There's a little bit of speculation. I'm pretty sure this said person was second on the highest odds or highest chances of getting fired as a head coach, and it did happen with Antonio Pierce and the Las Vegas Raiders. So they let go of head coach Antonio Pierce, and Raiders have now gone from John Gruden, who resigned in 2021, to Josh McDaniels, who was fired in 2023, to firing Pierce in 2025. So just a little background on this situation. Pierce went 5-4 to close the 2023 NFL season, including 3 divisional wins in the final 4 weeks. However, he failed to match that win total over the 2024 season, and the Raiders went winless against the AFC West for the first time since 2006. In 26 games as a Raiders head coach, Pierce went 9 of 17, going from that 5-4 last year to the 4-13 season this year. So, James, what do you think about this situation? I know Devontae leaving, the quarterback, Aiden Hutchinson. There was a lot of factors that contributed to those losses as well.
Yeah, and they played tough toward the end. I think, we shouldn't have won. Should have beat the Jaguars. I might have helped you a little bit more because you'll have the draft position is the draft position. But I think it's tough because it's more of a shot to the former player coach and the African-American thing. But, he wasn't doing his job. So, I mean, and the job is to win. And I think they have not being able to get a quarterback either, like that you just felt comfortable with. I mean, that I think that's really what pushed it over the top. And I think with them wanting to have a new, they know they're going to get a quarterback. This shows the direction that the Raiders believe they're going in. So they're going to let the coach that they're going to have for the next 3 years, be able to come in with the quarterback that he wants.
So I know you mentioned those sentiments, and I wanted to share this video with the chat and with you, James, just to see your opinion on it and what you think about it. But it's because it's from Steve Weish. I hope I'm saying that correctly, and just talk about the firing of the coaches and the GM recently. And I wanted to hear your opinion on this. So we'll blow it up.
It's a really, I don't know all the dynamics of what's going on in the building, but when you see he was one and done, ownership got impatient after asking him to replace the greatest head coach of all time with a very lousy roster. I think the Mike Vrabel factor is significant in this. I don't know if Mike Vrabel, if he wasn't available, I don't know if they would have made this move. But it also, look, Gerard Mayo made a lot of mistakes with the media, a lot of things where maybe he coached his team, the way he handles coordinators, the way, the hiring of the coordinators. But we see other coaches get patience, right? Other coaches get patience with this. And this is, but I was just up there a couple of weeks ago. The local media, he was done. They were cooking him. The fan base was cooking him. So I think when everything kind of turned against him, oh, he's not ready. He came in a year too soon. You don't hear that about some other first-year coaches, even though they struggle. He's a former player. It's just, again, I don't know all the dynamics of why it turned so hard against him when he has a very good quarterback. It's just interesting to see. And I have to say this because, we're hearing about Antonio Pierce possibly being a one and done in Las Vegas as well. When you talk about minority head coaches, this is a frustration because a lot of times they come into bad situations. It's usually when head coaching turnover takes place. And a lot of times black head coaches feel they don't get really a ripe opportunity to grow and develop like their white counterparts. And I'm not saying that Gerard Mayo didn't deserve to be kept, on lack of merit, whatever. But this is just a frustration that is expressed to me oftentimes by coaches of color. When you look at like some of the last 5 head coaches let go, one and done, David Culley in Houston, Lovie Smith in Houston. Now they were replaced by a black head coach, D'Amico Ryans. But Gerard Mayo, Nate Hackett, Frank Reich, all these guys didn't do well enough to succeed necessarily. But again, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this has been a decades-long frustration when it comes to minority coaches in terms of not being necessarily given the patience when walking into dire situations to get their first head coaching opportunities.
I mean, there's no lie. I mean, that's just, again, that's life in general. Like you got again, it's not a complaint. It's just a recognition of it. You got to be, everybody says that you got to be twice as good and work, 10 times harder and all that other stuff. Like, but you already know that coming into it. So like, it's not like right, wrong, or indifferent. Like sometimes it's just stating the reality of the situation. Now, what I will say is, I don't think anytime you have to hire, very few coaches have walked out on a high note, right? Most of the time when you're replacing a coach, you're replacing a coach that was in a bad situation and they were losing. That's the reason why you're replacing them. So any coach, whether it be black, white, Chinese, doesn't matter, that you fire after 1 year is really means you didn't get your first choice to begin with, and there's a reason why. Now he did give them a reason why to fire him by being bad, but he talked about it for the Gerard Mayo thing. I mean, Vrabel actually had some success when he was originally a head coach. Then it kind of went down, but he has the head coaching experience, so he can go in and say that I learned these things with my last go around. Then you go and you have the former player approach that goes with him. So the tenacity and the things that you want with that. And he's an easier name to sell. I mean, a lot of times, if we just told the truth, it still might be, we might still say, yeah, that's fucked up, right? But we'll be like, okay, I understand though. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, to me, but be honest with you, it actually saved you. Like, it actually saved you. Yeah. Like, you're just like, yo, you gave that he gave that real long speech or typing thing about Gerard Mayo, Bob Kraft, but just be like, yo, Bob, be like, hey, yo, Jerry, I got Vrabel out here. I really want Vrabel. Yeah, that's who we really wanted, but we couldn't get around to it, man. I'm gonna make this good to you. I'm gonna do right by you though. I'm gonna pay you, but at the same time, I'm gonna try to. This is who I want to shoot a shot with. That's still fucked up, but it's better than just. I think sometimes we do these things and there are real stereotypes for that stuff. Like that really does happen, but then things that it might not be because we didn't communicate the truth, it gets put into that same category. Now I say in Vegas, he technically, was it one season? Was it 2.5? Like Antonio Pierce was 23 because he took over interim 23, and so that situation is a little bit different because you were part of the problem initially. You were part of what got the first coach fired, but then you came over in that spark and you were able to lead these guys to victories. And that's the way you got the job, was that you convinced them that the consistency of you will make them better. And it did not happen. So really you should have been fired last year, and they pushed it over and you got a bonus though. Like, so you would have just been fired with DC money. You got fired with head coach money. And multiple years added to your contract. So, I mean, like, yo, both of those aren't racism. The problem is, without communication and without people really explaining it, I can see how it gets lumped into all of the other shit. Like, this ain't the...
You don't think people get more of a leash in Vegas? Pierce got?
But Pierce was with the last coach. So that's why I was saying, that's the only reason I'm saying, like, if he was a brand new coach, and with this, in this short amount of time, we've had players fucking wilding. Isn't that where a couple years ago was when, but yeah. And then they keep having players, like, it's like, go to Vegas, I'm going to go, I get drafted by Vegas, I want to drive my car as fast as fucking possible. Like, all the reasons why they said they didn't want players to be in Vegas, the only thing we haven't caught is a gambling scandal yet. But like, all the reasons why they don't want them in Vegas has been happening. But like, I don't, like I said, I think there's real racism out there. I think I get why people would believe that with this, but like, if the owners could have just spoke a little bit more, like, it would have been like, or people like who kind of, I'm not in the know in that situation, but like people who would like at least kind of have an idea about shit. Like, even my guy Tayshaun Reed is the beat writer for the Athletic, for the Raiders and shit. I ain't even heard him speak of no racism. I think they just tired of losing out there. So stinks. But I appreciate him like trying to saying some of the behind doors, closed doors things out loud, but I don't think I don't think these particular circumstances, because then there's two that need to be fired. Well, one, they can't fire him now because he done my guy Raheem, both Raheems, right? And who's in Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay is Todd Bowles, my bad. We would think he'd be fired, but he's going to the playoffs now. He hasn't been up to the same level, but definitely Radio Raheem in Atlanta. If they would have fired him, I'd be like, yep, he needs it. But he's got but he's getting the leash. Unfortunately, Mike McDaniel counts for us, and they're giving him a lot of leash too. He should have been fired. You got players saying, I'm not playing for this shit. He put the AB picture up as his profile. It's wild.
Yeah, it was. I know Jalen Ramsey put some on his story, but he alluded with the following post saying that it wasn't what people thought it meant. It was just like this long story about like not knowing or people not valuing your worth. So a lot of people took that and ran with the Dolphins organization, but Yeah, it's just getting spooky out here for obviously, like you said, it's just a lack of information. Like they obviously release official statements from the organization, but it's just we appreciate Antonio Pierce for everything. As a former player, I hope he does well in whatever future venture. So it's just a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that we'll never figure out, and that leaves room for the speculation, and that gets the clicks on the Raiders Twitter. So it's just all a big game. But yeah, but the 2024 NFL regular season recapped on some funny notes. I have this picture right here. You just forget what all can happen during the regular season, and I just thought this was
a long regular
it's just been crazy. It's just the first column is just the funniest with Jameis and Stevenson.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I looked at the time, like that was the face that I made when Tyreek Stevenson did that dumb shit. Because he's a former Rivals DB that's always fucking up. So
Rivals like UF?
No, like I think Stevenson went to UM.
Oh, let me see.
I think Jason misunderstood what I said. I said hold on, I want to make sure people understand. I want to make sure why you're doing that. What was said. He went to Georgia. Yeah, okay. What was said about Bowles was Ty was that if you would have looked at before they've been average, this year he actually proved that you shouldn't. Why you should give guys rope, and that's what I was saying. Some guys have gotten rope, so you gotta, you gotta check that out. You gotta listen. Don't listen to respond. Listen to comprehend. But onto the but nah, that the NFL, that's not even all of the stuff. That's just those 4 pictures are just wild. But it's been a lot of wild stuff that's happened this year. So
yeah, it's been a crazy regular season. A lot of drama, a lot of things going on. But I just found this collage, and man, the Will Levis one, that's funny too. That's probably when they tried to fire that man, the GM, when he went on his knees like that. Yeah. I don't know why you drafting somebody that put mayo in their coffee, but that's a whole different subject. Yeah, that's just I don't.
That whole thing, he eats bananas whole, peeling.
Not even monkeys do that. No offense, but that's just I don't even. Anyway. So we got moving on to our Big Games BS segment. So this is kind of a continuation piece from Monday's show with this Joy Taylor / FS1 Lawsuit / Skip Bayless. I feel like Skip is just not even like nobody's even caring about that. It's just about Joy and Acho and all the memes.
Nobody wants to think about old people having sex. So like, but what we really are doing is but Joy is the one that we like. It's really. So I was on this thing called the Renegade Roast, right? And with George and those guys, this guy's name's Tiny Cap. He said Joy Taylor has a body built for impact. I was like, yo, that's wild, man. That is wild. Like body built for impact. Like, but it's the jokes with it. I personally still believe she's good at her job. So like if she had to fuck to put herself in that position, hey, it worked. A lot of y'all fucking people for less. But it's spilling over into everything. Everything's DEI this or this woman did this. So somebody went after my homegirl Sheena. I could see why she got her job for her writing ability, and she happened to put a picture up there. And she was looking bad again, and she was like, I work for myself. Like, so who else would give me the, but whatever, man. But what else we got? What we got some new details with Joy or?
This is just some reaction pieces. So I got a couple of links. Just with the first link being this one. This is an attorney. Her name is Rachel Lindsay, and it's like a 6-minute clip. But the first 2 minutes, I just want to hear your opinion on. Then we have Marcellus Wiley, former
Jesus
All-Pro
Christ.
and Pro Bowl player, talking about the recent allegation. Then we got a little Jason Whitlock video, and then we got yesterday actually, Joy Taylor and Acho obviously went to work and. There were some funny instances,
Yeah.
I'll say that. And then Shannon Sharp making fun of Skip Bayless. So we got all that to talk about. So, yeah, this is a clip of an attorney. Her name is Rachel Lindsay, telling Van Lathan that the hairstylist that's suing Skip Bayless for sexual harassment used Joy Taylor because the patriarchy mindset of men that will instantly believe that a woman would do it. So it's like 6 minutes long, but we're not gonna watch the whole thing.
Hey, let me just it's accountability is never had.
Do because it's
Lay Lava full of shit.
what I'm saying is the publicist said this also happened because people are so quickly to turn on a woman. That is something that is true.
Yeah.
It's the low hanging fruit. And we're seeing it happen right now. I just want to be particular what like the uphill battle that this does to a woman, specifically a Black woman in a male dominated field. There are very few women working in sports and even fewer Black women. Joy is one of the few Black women working in sports who has a coveted in-studio position. Most of the people you see who are Black women working in sports are on the sideline.
Sideline reporters.
You can count on one hand how many people are in studio, let alone hosting, leading a show in studio, talking about not just one sport, multiple sports. There's always been this stereotype about women in sports that, in male-dominated spaces, but we'll stick with sports, particularly in sports, where they're not qualified to have the positions that they have, that they're getting it because they're pretty, and those women are always having to prove their ability. They're having to show how talented, how knowledgeable they are, and they have to prove their track record constantly. Joy Taylor is somebody who's had to do that, and she is extremely knowledgeable about the sports that she discusses, and she's very talented. But now with this complaint,
just giving us a
she's got to defend her reputation because people are going to question that because they're always looking for an excuse to question the ability of a woman to hold her own when it comes to sports, to sit at the table and talk with men about a sport that they may or may not have played and whether or not they can do it to the same level. Now she is being dragged on social media and questioned about her ability to do that when she's clearly qualified to, while the men are getting praised for not Skip. I'm talking about Manuel Acho, who's talking about
Acho?
Charlie Dixon, are getting praised for their affiliation,
Well, I know he
that
doesn't
their
like
alleged
Acho, so.
affiliation with her, and she's getting ripped apart in pieces. And
That's the main part I wanted to mention and share with you all was I mean, like, I don't think a majority was saying when she was wrong, but when she was saying how Acho and Dixon were getting praised, it's like, nah, these dudes are like getting memed on.
Too. Like, yeah, we definitely like this brings up a really good this brings up something really, really cool. So
before you say that, I just want to say, like, people were commenting like, yeah, you say all that, but like it was like at the end of the day, like, even if men, had the misogyny towards the women, like, the women still put her on blast and dry snitched.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't even bring this up. Like, we was just minding our business, and then a woman decided to attack the crazy. So a woman attacks a woman, and it's because of the patriarchal setup. Like, do you like? Do we hear that? Like, a woman slaps a woman, and it's the man's fault. Now, if I said, like, when we attack each other, nobody says this is the feminist. Like, we don't get, like, the reality is none of that would have happened if Joy Taylor wouldn't have had quote unquote unnecessary questionable relationships with colleagues, allegedly.
Or stop talking about it with your hairdresser.
Right. Like, because again, the only way you could do this is if you bash a woman, which would probably be blamed on us men again. And she got a divorce from her. She did have a divorce from her husband, And again, that's why I'm like, people are like, you got to watch for sue for defamation. There's already a lawsuit out there, basically a civil suit. That's what the divorce was. And you know there's text messages, and you know there's reasonings and rationales behind all of that. So like, do you really want to bark up that tree? Because it might get worse. And the crazy part is, instead of just saying like, yo, it does set people back, but it sets a lot of people, a lot of other different types of people back. Ocho, like a lot of shit. Like if something bad happens, you can't just automatically. It's got to be a real blame, especially in the case when she threatens to use sexual assault. Like that's the real. That's the sex is not the problem. Joy Taylor was, if she was, whatever, shit, that's her vagina. She's able to do whatever she wants to do with her vagina. But if that thing where, if all else fails, I'll just say he tried to sexually assault me. That's crazy. That's really the part that like really, like you're talking about praise. Like she, and to be honest with you, she's a very intelligent woman. That woman that spoke up there, incredibly intelligent. She conveniently though, and intelligently left out that fact.
That's why I call it evil. It's not a mistake. They're doing it on purpose.
Like you're talking about all of the other stuff. It's believe all women to women until it's that woman. So you want us to believe one woman and not believe the other woman, which means you can't believe all women if that's how you got to be.
And I'm tired of the pretty privilege. You know it works. It works in all ways. So when you use it towards your advantage, but then when it doesn't work for you and people think of you only as something to be sexualized, you're upset. When you look at Mina Kimes, I think she's pretty, she's beautiful, but people look at her as a mother and someone who's highly informative. They don't ever think she got to her position by sleeping her way to the top. It's kind of about what you present and what you're willing to sell yourself as. You bought it. I mean, you sold it. So now kind of. As a
man in sports, there's a lot of women in sports. You just like literally, there's a woman everywhere you go. There's a woman in sports, and from a perspective, they're covering football in a larger perspective than everybody else, and at the same time, so they're covering the male-dominated sports, which they have. There are some that are more than qualified for that, right? But they're also they don't want men covering women's sports because we don't understand the perspective coming from a female athlete. But you don't understand that logic flipped. Like, that's why a lot of guys are like, some of them go a little bit too quick, but some of them don't even have any athletic experience and they do take a lot of the jobs. Which is cool. I don't have no problem with it. I'm just saying, like, let's stop some of this. Let's use the rhetoric when it's proper.
Who's the one you don't like? The black woman.
Sage Steven.
No, the more famous one who used to be on the 6. She had her own show on this.
Oh, Jamel? I don't hate Jamel. I don't hate. No, wait a minute, time out. That is a lie. Like, listen, though. No, I promise you, I've seen it.
It's like the Liangelo song. It's not really a good song.
What I'm saying is, she's not like the first person that you're gonna like, but like there's all right. So somebody put up Joy, and they say, why? So I say, why does she have corners instead of curves?
That's ridiculous.
She's built like an orange Nike, orange Nike shoebox below, like down low. Up top, she's dope. But like once you get past some hips, man, it's a little like you gotta watch. But Jamel has curves. She just wears a lot of clothing.
When I think of Jamel, I think of the black lady who went viral for popping her eyes out.
She does have big old eyes. She does have big eyes. It's just like, Jamel is just. She's
not ugly.
Jamel just went to the other side. Like there are black issues and we do need those, but like Jamel is
her as an analyst.
Like, yeah, Jamel knows sports.
But that's my point. It's not like, oh, people don't look at her like, oh, she slept her way to the top.
That was the first thing. That's what AB and everybody
said. Oh, really?
AB was like,
what?
A bunch of people have said, why Jamel Hill ain't in here real stuff? That was like, yo, that's fucked up, man.
That's the thing. It's how you present yourself and what you're.
I do believe that. I ask, because, a lot of women get most women say they've gotten the dick pic in the inbox. And there's some women that I ask, hey, have you ever gotten that? And they were like, no. And I look at the way they carry themselves on social media. I'm like, okay. It makes sense. You don't see very many pictures. Like they talk very little on it, very sparingly for you to be able to shoot your shot. And the ones that do, and I'm not saying they deserve to have random dicks in their inbox, but you probably put a 2-piece bathing suit out there and was looking. It might have been looking like a whole meal at that point. And then that's just the universal sign for weirdos.
And yes, you don't deserve it.
You don't deserve it. No.
Understand it's a thin line you're trying to play. So like, understand you're doing a difficult thing trying to go through being sexy and intelligent. Who pulls that off perfectly? Like who? It's a hard thing. It's a hard task.
Because the only person who did it was an actress. That was the blonde chick in Big Bang Theory. That's fine ass. That's a cold ass glass of milk. And she's really smart, but it was fictional. So I don't know if these people exist.
So we have former FS1 employee Marcellus Wiley.
I hate this guy, by the way.
Speaking
I love him
about
as a player.
Yeah,
but like he's just angry. He's going the Jason Whitlock route. That's why I don't like him.
Yeah. He was on the. I think this is from the interview with Jason Whitlock, but he was on this interview runs with Jason, and let us know what y'all think about this.
Never heard that Charlie Dixon and Joy Taylor were sleeping together, but upon hearing that, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it makes a lot of things make sense. It unlocks a lot for me. Sleeping with Emmanuel Acho, I've heard that before, multiple times. Recent as a week or two ago. That's crazy. Part of the reason it was suggested that
here's what I don't like, man. Like that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I don't like. Like, all right, man.
We might as well sip tea.
I'm talking about it because it's news, right? But I'm not finna go in. He's putting himself in the story. I heard about. Ooh, that's why I don't like him. Like, dog, he grew up in Compton when Compton was Compton, like not the new Bompton shit. Like he grew up like when it was crazy, and then went to Columbia. Hell of the NFL career, was doing really good as like rising up through the stuff, and then you follow Whitlock's lead, and then now this is where you're at. I've heard about that. Like just the Dixon things. The Dixon things put so many questions for me.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa,
bro.
That don't sound right coming from us,
bro, man. Come on, man. Like, yo. But what it be sounding like is they just mad that Joy. All right. So I love women though, but like there was the jump off on the block, right? Everybody knows like that's why a lot of times women and people don't want. Why is rap so vulgar? They are rapping about shit that happens. There's a jump off. There's hoes. There are regular women too. But like, there's a chick that everybody on the block maybe got an opportunity to get, and there's guys that she will let hit once and like no, there's no questions asked. But there's some that she gonna make do a little bit more work for it. For whatever reason, you're the person that she wants to settle down with. And then, but what's only worse than the person that she wants to settle down with is the dude that she wouldn't let hit. Especially when you looking like, damn, man, I might be ugly, but I ain't that ugly like him. And she let him hit. Why she won't let me hit? And that's what it sounds like Marcellus and Jason Whitlock are going through. Joy wouldn't let me get that experience Joy. But this like the verbiage. He is Jason Whitlock is a nasty man. I know he nasty, but listen to how he describes what he missed.
I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly.
Yo.
It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
Who does he work for?
He doesn't work for the Fox FS1. He doesn't work for them anymore. He works for himself. He's that. I'm saying though, that big rack.
Damn, bro. Wow. Just speak my mind.
And that peanut butter skin.
I like a rack better.
Like,
As well, but I've never
but what I'm saying, like, guys,
wow.
you never stood a chance, bro. Man, she wasn't for you. You wild for that.
I want to clip that.
We gotta clip it, like that big rack and that peanut butter skin. Yeah. Like when he said, I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah, I don't know if she would be capable to do it back.
I don't think. I don't think.
What did he mean about
That's what I want to know. Like, see, this is right here is like. This is what lady is actually when somebody put Emmanuel Echo said, like, I couldn't put if Emmanuel Echo said, hey man, girl, you got a big old rack. Oh my God, you're so funny, Echo. He says that. HR, I'm nervous now. Like, I want to call HR for her. Yeah, for Jason Whitlock. I know what I'm capable of. Like, whoa, brother.
jelly and bread?
Like he gonna do something crazy, man. Like he just like something that's just like what's the movie that with the lady she kidnapped Kathy Bates kidnaps old boy and like I think it's like a favorite. No, that's funny. No, it's not a decent proposal. I'm trying to think. It's not. It's she like breaks his leg, like she just tortures him like the whole time. But like that's what it sounds like he would do with Joy. Like he'd have her Misery. Yeah, that's it. Like Joy would wake up and then she's bound or something like that, and then he's just like, I know what I'm capable of. And she's like, huh? And she's blindfolded. She can't move. She's bound. What? Who's that? Who's there? That big rat. Oh, man.
I know what I'm capable of.
Oh.
And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
You got a nice rack.
Jay says, why are his food discreet? Because you know he just had some peanut butter.
Exactly. I like Jimmy Horse.
Like somebody put was it the 30 for 30 Bad Boys, and they put where Isaiah was like, I met all of the qualifications. If I met all of the qualifications was a person right now, oh my God.
I got a video of him. So this was on Monday. So yesterday he did like a reaction to people's reaction of him.
Oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying? So I got the link.
He about to let us know that he's that man.
Okay, this is just bad. Like the pictures in the background, it's just not.
That is what?
Yo.
That's not even clever.
Yeah. He doesn't need to wear that kind of shirt no more.
Not a clever joke.
That's not his.
Drugs and harmony.
Yeah, that's not your thing, Jay.
People got all upset with me for talking to you guys in a straightforward manner. That I'm spelling it out to you in a way that I hope everyone can understand. And
Jason Whitlock look like them old dykes
that are disappointed with the way that I spelled it out. And particularly if your objection.
But look at him, he's like he's a little fluffy in the chest area. So like they didn't get rid of the titties enough.
I'm going to apologize to you that I sincerely feel that.
Yo.
But I'm going to double down and stand on it.
You're right. He kind of does just.
In this moment,
he does kind of look like Gagi right here.
That type of raw, commentary is necessary so that the point
Like,
lands
first
with
off, I'm tired of
everybody.
him. Nobody's mad at you, Jason, for your raw comment. We're mad at the audacity that you have to try to make us believe that anybody was giving you some yams. That's what they're mad about, son. Joy Taylor can get it. Like, I mean, we were talking about it, but like Joy Taylor, yeah, man.
But she does. I'm looking at the pictures. They're all avoiding. I can't find them.
She knows she ain't got no ass, man.
Yeah, she knows.
Yo, here are some things that that Jason Whitlock looks like. Lori Lightfoot. It's an old dyke. The mayor of Chicago. Or the former mayor of Chicago. I think they got a new black mayor now. Somebody said he looks like Medea. Sherman Clump looking ass. Like, yeah, man. All right, so what else we got? I know it's got to be awkward the day after. After the morning after.
So this was funny. I tried to find the video, but so this was on Monday after, the whole announcement. And it was just one funny quote. It was something along the lines of when like the three old heads know when something wrong and it's so awkward and just look how they stand it.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, and the playmaker Michael Irvin. It's Victory Monday for some and
Throw the baseball pitch.
Monday for others, but for the ones who did have Victory Monday,
Kick them on the way out the door.
Like, nope. Last time I was this close to a woman, I got kicked out of a hotel.
Exactly. Who's walking around like the man on Monday, Michael? Welcome
Keyshawn, yeah.
to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, and the playmaker Michael Irvin.
Paul Pierce look good though. Michael Irvin.
Yeah, I don't know what Michael's trying to be a Metro right now. Yeah.
It really be your own because Shady almost cut up on the facility yesterday. On Monday with this comment and this horrible word choice by Emmanuel Acho.
Goff understands how to operate that system. Like, the Lions are very well put together. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who can do the dirty work. You got Jameson Williams, who can take the top off. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's extremely explosive. You got Jared Goff understands how to operate that system. Like, the Lions are very well put together. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who can do the dirty work. You got Jameson Williams, who can take the top off. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's extremely explosive. You got Jared Goff understands how to operate that system.
The elephant in the room.
Like, the Lions are very well put together. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who can do the dirty work. You got Jameson Williams, who can take the top off. You got Jahmyr Gibbs,
we
who's
all
extremely
talking about
explosive.
everybody else involved, man. Do you know how hard it must be for Acho to be working right now? Like, knowing that she's right there.
Just remember, I seen him on the Christian app, on the Bible app. Remember, he was giving the daily refresh of the day.
Bro, like
it was Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, that's why it's so shocking. That's how it's so shocking to like not see him say anything as the image that he tries to portray. Like, but that's where the most dick can be going down is at church. So he might be like, I can imagine having to preach a sermon after you lost your best eater.
Oh my God.
Like, that's crazy, man. The emotional turmoil he's going through. That's her. Wow. Yeah, she got that's crazy. That's ridiculous that her booty looked like that. That's wild. She wild for that.
And then this is Shannon Sharp. Even like just making fun of Skip during this whole situation on Nightcap.
Nope. Hold on.
I want to pay my debt.
You gonna let me talk, Ocho? It's my turn.
Ocho's so slow.
As a matter of fact,
Even catch
nope.
it.
Hold
I
on.
want to pay my debt.
You gonna let me
Yeah,
talk,
catch it,
Ocho?
man.
It's my turn.
Your turn. You had your turn.
As a matter of fact,
I don't know
nope.
what's
Hold
going
on.
on.
I want to pay my debt.
You gonna let me talk, Ocho?
Can
It's my turn.
Like, get a real cut. Like, is anybody else noticing that he trying to like have that good hair, and he got like a little part, like a little conk in it? Like look at this. Go look at some hair, like Shannon Sharp's hair, and it's like you'll see it's a nice little even part. Like he's got it like he needs a hairdresser, not a barber. It's wild. Like he need to go ahead and let that go, man. But yeah, this whole thing is fun. I need them to I hope they're gonna wrap all this up by the end of the week. It's probably some good meat on that bone still, but we can just subliminally just joke with Joy from here on out, knowing that she probably got that gawk, or she's able to take incredible damage. Because again, she's built for impact. That's what my guy says. But we got to go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, it's getting wild. But one thing we not gonna wrap up is, man, this Liangelo Ball song. So I got some stats for you. This is crazy. I know, Miles, you're not a fan, but it's doing it did some numbers. So on Spotify, when this song actually debuted, so his new song Tweaker was the 12th most streamed rap song in the world when this released, with 1.32 streams in its opening day on Spotify. Man, doing crazy numbers. So you even got Don Staley vibing to it, the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball team, and she was turned at practice. I know now since the song got actually released, we can't it'll be copyrighted, right? Yeah, this is her vibing to the song.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Oh my God.
That's all you need to know. Oh.
The founder of the new Wu-Tang, seeing this numbers go up, he's gonna give up. He's not gonna create the new Wu-Tang because he's gonna say Liangelo Ball is the hit maker right now. He's gonna read a book.
Even on NBA TNT, they posted the song, which this one caught me by surprise. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but man,
No way, y'all can't do this.
they look. I swear, look.
This is called taking the joke too far. I can't even be too mad at the song.
It's catchy, man. It's Soulja Boy, man. That was a dumb song, man. But you put a dance to it, or you put something cool behind it, and then next thing you know.
This song it's not even it's bad for so many reasons. But
did Shaq just try to do a Kappa shimmy?
I think he did a Dougie.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna say as an Omega, that's a little close. Are they playing it when he makes threes?
So
oh my God.
They LaMelo Ball played last night against the Suns at home, and they were playing the his brother's song during the pregame warmups. And I'm just gonna read you guys LaMelo Ball's stat line. He had 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals. And this is one of the craziest plays I have seen somebody pull off in an NBA game. And I'll let y'all be the judge. This is just, he's playing like he's in high school again. But everybody is playing this song. The Texans used it to warm up. They played it at the Bulls game. It's everywhere. But
since when does everybody love comedy so much?
My.
So then we got this last video for you all. I don't know how LeBron is doing this, but he hit arguably the dunk of the year. And I don't even know where to start. He's 40 years old. That's all I got to say.
Reeves, shot clock at 8, plenty of time. Nice rotation. Hachimura, 3. Rebound hustling is Christie. To the cutting James.
Sorry, I was all in your lap. But this is from a 40-year-old. This is an early candidate for dunk of the year. This is unbelievable.
You just get angry for something.
Again, I will say this. Year 22.
Wow, that was terrible for that young man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he even do that when he was young?
Man, that's the crazy part is when he like really, he's got so many more. He's what's wrong. He is what's wrong with the NBA though. He can't leave. So there's no way to develop. There is no new star. They haven't been able to do character development with nobody because he keeps getting better. Like real talk. He might not the way they're doing like load management. He got another 5.
That's what he said. He said if he really wanted to play, he said he could play 5 more years.
Like it's like he's not slowing down.
I don't not believe him though.
Yeah, no, if anything.
Like you can't you gotta at some point he's gotta let it go, man. You can't still be top 5 current or arguably the best when you're this old, man. We need a new guy that we can.
There's nobody. You're right. There's nobody to market. Oh, Ant.
But he's not. But he's starting to go downhill, complaining about being double teamed and things, man.
The last 3 games he went off though. I read somewhere he's averaging like 40 the last 3 games, so he's back up. But yeah, that double team take
was wild, man. You can't be crying, man.
Yeah. There's no storyline that's like LeBron's coming from high school so far and then meeting and surpassing all expectations. So, yeah, we need a new guy.
Whoa.
It can't be that.
No, it can't be him. Wow.
We're all gonna do this, right?
It's just like he doesn't need to go put an album out. Don't put an album out, though. Like just everybody keeps trying to add features. Like Boosie said, literally, he'll do a verse on it.
Lillard must be pissed.
Yeah. He's not making raps for the clubs. Like this fits every element, even though it's a new generation. Like it's simple chorus line that you can repeat with the ad lib.
I like to get Nelly on the track.
Now you get some good people on it, it'd be dope.
If he makes money, he gonna get anybody on the track. Nelly, Boosie, Soldier Boy.
Oh, did you see Drake dissing LeBron?
Yeah, I was just watching that joke.
Dog, you know what, bro? I mean, at this point, man. At this point, bro, like just give it up, man.
He's pretty much dry snitching too.
Yeah. The problem is everybody talking about he's cheating. Like it's you got no proof, but we all know.
He's cheating on his wife.
Oh yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
What type of man? Why would he say that?
You know who did that? And why he can't be my number 2 or my number 1. Kobe Bryant snitched on everybody when he got jammed up.
But Kobe, we knew.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Kobe said, "This is what I seen Shaq do this," and said, "But yeah, man, yeah, he didn't dry snitch, he snitched." Yeah, but like Drake trying to be a goon, but like how you, anyways.
I was watching a video on it this morning. It was crazy. He said something like,
But LeBron did like they not like us, right? Was the Oh, yeah. He said that as disrespect.
So Drake said a bar. It was like, even if my dad have a daughter, that's not my sister. He was pretty much saying like, I thought you was my brother, and I'm not even like, you dissed me so wrong. Like, I'm not even gonna claim you as somebody being close because I'm not even claiming my sister. Like, you my brother, and you did me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did me wrong. Like,
yeah,
it was wild, but I didn't. They took it down though. UMG took it down, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't either. I thought he liked the Raptors.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Everybody's cool with LeBron. I guess when you the most popular player when they were coming up, huh?
May not mean nothing to y'all. That's what LeBron.
Bro, oh.
Yeah, bro. That was like a LeBron.
I thought it was his song about
man, I'll be honest with you. Aubrey, that's a problem. Aubrey is a professional dick rider, and it's too much. Who isn't he friends with?
Yeah, he has a.
That would be funny if he did that. Yeah, that's where. Yeah, we're not tattooing other. It's not even like LeBron is my guy. I like LeBron as a basketball player and as an entity, but it's not like LeBron basketball. If I maybe was a hooper, but basketball doesn't mean anything to me. Like he's not like, yeah, it's not even like he's a.
Not even dead. You have to see that man.
I don't understand any of this. I don't understand any of this. None of this makes sense to me. But anywho. I'm with that
baby's first rap song.
He took Manny Fred, like he took again when you learn it, it's like it makes you be mad, but then it's like, damn, I wish I knew how to use a beat machine. If you want to know if you got a hit, play it around a bunch of 3-year-olds 2 to 3 times, even younger. And if they don't start trying to like mimic the words, the sounds, you don't have a hit. Because kids are the ones who really push a lot of this stuff. Because they'll be like, I want to hear it again. Play it again. They find a favorite and they wear it to the ground. But anyway, we got nothing else. We got more Jag stuff, more things of that nature. Still trying to grow the channel, doing these different things, man. Stay tuned for the stuff that we're going to be rolling out here this month or next month. But outside of that, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We'll see you guys next time.